Sevgili YouTube, Kingdom Come Deliverance 18. bölümle chatte sevgili arkadaşlarımla beraber sizlerleyiz. O zaman Gamet'le Hüseyin. Şu telefonu da şu köşeye şarja takayım. Dip dip dip. Biri biri. En son nerede kalmıştık? Gene galiba yeni bir kamp. Ha demiş. Evet hatırladım. Topalı bulmuştuk da topalı çarmıha gelip için dışına çıkarmışlardı. O zaman devam. Bu abiyle konuşmuştuk. Köylü. Hepiniz köylü müsünüz? Lumir kim lan? Sen kimsin lan?
Jesus Christ be praised.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know anything about it, but ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
Even in the tavern.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Nasıl yok?
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
Ya cana
I was
kıydıysa?
coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone entering the village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened, I wouldn't wonder.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with?
Hiçbir şey bilmiyorum dedi adam. İnanılmaz konuştu. Bak bunda da bir pislik var bence.
He used to sit in the tavern next to us
He
sometimes.
used to sit in the
but never
tavern.
said much.
That's all. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
İnşallah. Amin amin hepimize. İsmi farklı olan...
Good evening.
Hayır.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Teyze! Luboş kimdi Luboş?
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time. And then yesterday, he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before.
Tamam bu bilgiyi
Probably had a bad conscience.
doğrulamış gibi olduk eğer kendi aralarında
Do you
anlaşmadılarsa.
know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Sen nerede oturuyorsun ki?
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
That's all. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
Amin ablacığım amin.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm
Niye
investigating
artist
the
artist
massacre in
hareketler yapıyorsun
Neuhof,
Henry?
and now a murder here as well.
Götüme
Can I ask
kalktı
you a few
birader.
questions?
Of course, ask away.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked him much, but I wouldn't wish an end like that on any man.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen him around for a while. No idea where he was skulking.
Birader sen dini Müslüm bir insan değil misin? Bak kiliseye giderken görmüş insanlar.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof
Bezoğun
was
kiliseden
raided?
kaçıyor bak.
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with, relatives or friends?
He was a loner. He didn't even have any mates in the tavern.
Mates in the tavern.
That's all. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
İsmi farklı olan varsa el kaldırsın. Tek tek bana baktırmayın kimliği hadi. Heh, bak Maple. Shroop.
God be with you.
Oo baba ses nasıl güzel.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush
God
of
be
Lipa.
with you.
I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Well, what do I care? ask?
Kelleni tek hamlede alırım, hissetmezsin bile.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a
At
strange one.
kafasına bak ya.
Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord
Senin
knows how
bakışında
he made a
meymenet
living.
yok lan.
Well,
Seni bulacağım
maybe
oğlum.
now
Sen
I've got an idea or two.
peşindeyim.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately, not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church, as it happens.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home at all. Wait, are you saying he... Jesus!
Siktir lan.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with, relatives or friends?
Oto hoş
I really
geldin.
don't know. As far as I know, he had no kin. I never saw him with anyone.
That's all.
Maple, bak seni yazdım oğlum. Tamam mı? Seni paramparça edeceğim. Ama çok kalabalık burası. Şimdi hepsiyle uğraşamam. Pavel Nedved. Hadi bakalım.
Good health to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Ben seninle konuşmuş muyum lan?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course. Ask away.
Of course. Garip bir
That
aksanı
man
var.
Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a drunk. He was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked him much. But I wouldn't wish an end like that on
Sen
anyone.
niye o deminki herifle aynı cevapları veriyorsun?
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well,
Ben senin
No,
iş
I
yapacağın işe.
I hadn't seen him around for a while. No idea where he was skulking.
Ulan Timur, ulan Timur.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
Not a clue.
That's all. Thank you.
Ben bu heriften hep aynı cevapları alacağımı biliyorum. Lumir seninle konuşmuş muyduk lan, bir tipine bakayım anlarım ben. Konuştuk. Ay yaş pislik. Köylü kasabalı. Senin burada ne işin var birader? Doğru
I've
adama
come in the
geldik
name of Sir
galiba.
Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
Have you
Kaan,
noticed anything
kaşınma.
suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday.
7 dakika olmuş.
He was even
Yolandi.
talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone
Ben de
entering the
deliyim.
village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened, I wouldn't wonder.
That's all.
Kenef.
Thank you.
May the Lord watch over you.
Sen... Joseph gidiyorsun galiba buradan. Bana gel.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa.
Bir dakika.
I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof,
Bekle.
and now a murder here as well.
Bekle sen.
Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
Maç nasıldı? Ben sana hemen yorumları yapayım. Kardeşim, bu Türkiye'de futbol diye bir şey yok. Bu Türkiye'de hakemlik diye bir şey yok. Bu Türkiye'de adalet diye bir şey yok. Maç bir yere kadar çok güzel. İki takım da Alanya'da, yani tarihinde oynadığı en iyi futbollardan birini oynuyordu büyük ihtimalle. Fenerbahçe de aynı şekilde çok güzel oynuyor. Hani zevkli bir maç oluyor. Böyle Premier Lig'de izleyebileceğin gibi çekişmeli. O ondan alıyor, o ondan alıyor. Atağa çıkarken top kesiliyor, güzel bir atak yapılıyor. İşte güzel şutlar, güzel kurtarışlar falan filan derken Allah'ım saçmalıklar başlıyor bir anda. Olmayan penaltı veriliyor. Olan penaltı verilmiyor. Dingil dingil kararlar. Bu arada ben bugün öğrendim bunu. Bilmiyordum daha önceden. Fenerbahçe'nin VAR'a gitme hakkı yokmuş. Fenerbahçe'nin herhangi bir şeyde VAR'a gidilmesi gibi bir şey yokmuş. Ben bilmiyordum kanka. Biz ondan hep itiraz ediyorduk. Meğer bizim öyle hakkımız yokmuş. Ne yaparsın? Fışır fışır etmeyeyim de burnum aktı, ne yapayım?
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
Yani kimle konuştuysam bana diyor. Abi diyor, maçı kazanacaksan diyor önce hakemi de yeneceksin diyor. Lan kaç senedir hakemi yeniyoruz. Gidiyoruz karşı takımı yeniyoruz. Karşımızda duran Jimbo muydu, Beşiktaş'ıydı, Trabzon'uydu, onuydu, bunuydu, onları yeniyoruz. Daha kaç senedir Fener tek başına hepinize karşı hakemiydi, o suydu, bu suydu, yüksek kuruluydu, anasının amıydı. Hepinize karşı duruyor. Senelerdir ayakta. Hala yeneceksen onu da yeneceksin. Ah!
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest.
Çok
when he
sinirliyim ya.
went to
Yani
confession.
güzelim maç.
I was
Kazanıp
wondering what he was
kaybetmek
up to
umurumda
to
değil.
take to the faith
Fener
all of a
kaybedebilir.
sudden. But I suppose no sin's too
Futbolu
dark for God's
öldürüyorlar,
mercy.
maçı öldürüyorlar, insan içindeki şevki, her şeyi öldürüyorlar ya. Yeter, seninle de konuşmaya gerek yok. Her bokunuzda aynı şeyi söylediniz. Burada şimdi kiliseyi mi bulacağım ben? Gece gece. Oha. Rahiple konuş. Daha ne öğreneyim lan, herkes aynı boku söylüyor işte. Artık cümleler birebirleşti.
You can't just walk around in the dark. You have to have a light. Is the God be with you.
Another thing about Lubos.
Good luck to you.
Bak gene videonun ortasına canımı sıktın. Ulan çocuk.
Hey you! It's forbidden to walk at night here without a light.
Çekerim kılıcı görürsün Light'ı. Bana emir vermiyorlar mı? Peder! Ne oluyor lan orada? Yo, ona dedim.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Serinin of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you some
Sinirlendirdi,
questions?
tadımı kaçırdım. Maçı açtı gene, aklıma geldi bak.
Is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Ya Peder, seni Allah'ına kavuştururum ya.
What is he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubos don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Bence de. Kaan Timur'u da seviyor ya. Ona sövmeyeyim diye şu an camdan dışarı
You
bağırıyor.
know what Lubos was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances. And this is one of them.
Ne yapayım? Şimdi bakın, Peder'in şeylerini bilmiyoruz. Özelliklerinin güç, yani seviyelerini bilmiyoruz. 9 konuşmamız var. Çünkü yüksek elit sınıfla konuştuğumuzda artı 3 geliyordu. Bonus olarak artı 3'ümüz var. 9 konuşmamız var. 6 karizmamız, 10 tehdidimiz var. Ve şu anda saygınlığımız 56. Pedere yamuk yaparsak hızlı düşer. Ama en yükseğimiz de gene pederi tehdit etmek. Şu an görünmüyor mu ekranda ya? Birinci sıradaki, artık ona bir zararı olmaz. konuşmayla çözmeye çalışmak. İkincisi karizmayla masum insanları ölüme mahkum ediyor olabilirsiniz. Üçüncüsü öfke, tehdit. O itirafları senden zorla öğrenirim. Ya konu işte çıkardığı günahları bize söyledi adam. Adam da dedi ki bu gizlidir. Tanrı ile benim aramda. Söyleyemem. Tanrı'nın kuralları insanların kurallarından şeydir. Önemli, üstündür. Benim gizlilik yeminlerim var dedi. Yani en düşük şansımızın olduğu şeyle alalım diyorsunuz. Farkındasınız değil mi? Yani 9, 6, 10'dan 6'yı seçtiniz. Peki.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can.
Aferin
If I broke
size.
that vow, the consequences would be much worse than if I didn't. Maybe not immediately, but one day. The mills of God grind slowly.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confession.
Ya kılıcı oturtacağım şimdi seni.
I'll
Sus.
tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Good luck to you.
Akşam olunca rahiple meyhanede buluş. Daha ne kadar akşam olsun? Kaç istiyorsun sen saati? Gel şuradan beraber gidelim be. Ya pezevengin şeyi yok. Bize burada hava yapıyor. Yok yeminim var, yok Tanrı'nın osu busu. Hale bak. Kucağında karı da döndüreceğim mi lan? He? He? Lap dance de yapacaksın mı? Da var. Ben şimdi seni bir sarhoş edeyim de. Kel puştu seni. Allah seni çarpacaksa çarpar zaten. Şu hale bak. Ayakkabısını sıçtığım.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
Yok canım, o onur bize ait.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was. But I really don't like to talk about it.
I understand. I'm sorry. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
You think I'm too young for the job, Father?
I do, to tell the truth.
Well, I can only apologize for my lack of grey hair and gout.
Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyel? The good folks here about are
Abla?
saying all kinds of terrible things.
Hakikaten bir meyhaneye geldik lan, ne oluyor?
The rumors aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarreled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful.
Ya siktir, tüyün mü var ki?
Here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
Ne diyeyim? Üsttekini dersek bitiyor gibi. Alttakini dersek çatışırız adamla. 2 tane 2 geldi. 3 tane 2 oldu. Yok mu arttıran? 4-2 oldu. Zannetmiyorum ki üstüne çıkılsın.
You're just making excuses. The people who say the church is corrupt.
İtibar kaybettik.
You don't care about anyone, only your own comfort.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Really sorry. You've no idea how wrong you are.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical, condemning vices, and of course describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life with a nice moral to them.
Bayağı millet din diye kandırıyor herif ya.
Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Porno satar.
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house.
Çıkaracağım ben buradan bir şey de. Kuşbaşı mı, bilgi mi onu bilmiyorum.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Adam fena konuşmadı ha.
Drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuff.
Buradayız burada. Emir Ali'nin şeye gitmiş.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he
Kesinlikle
got out
öyle.
of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Ya.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
Tamamdır.
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a
İçtik
drink,
mi?
of course.
İçelim mi içmeyelim mi? Kaan'dan hızlı bir geldi. Angelica'dan da bir geldi. Yolande'den bir geldi. Ben de öyle düşünüyorum da. Timur Kafka. Bak gene Kafka dedim. Sen Kafka kaldın kanka.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
İçki içmem seviye atladı. Bu nasıl bir şey ya? Ah! Karabiberim vur kadeh. Oba Henry ne yapıyorsun? Ya papaz kafayı mı yedin bir siktir git.
Enough of this.
Bailiff, come on over here. Sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Then, throw them out.
Kalkamıyorum. Ben kalkıyorum. Yer beni
You
çekiyor.
looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Peder sen... Peder coştu ha. Bak burada adam var. Peder çık, görmüyorum Peder çık.
You're gonna cry now.
Peder bu öldü. Aa köylü bu. Peder nerede?
Henry, I'm glad you stopped by.
Lan Peder nerede?
Everyone has to carry a light at night.
So, my dear, wouldn't you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind?
Ablacım sus.
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Yora bafun mu? Buyurun ablacım. Bakayım kim gören oldu mu?
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oğlum çana böyle bakan olmadı hayatımda ya. Bana böyle bakan olmadı. Yanlış söyledim. Herifin çana bakışına bak.
Ringing wench.
Başta çalmaya kevaşe biraz ayıp olmadı mı be? Allah seni kahretsin ya.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Yapsaydın kardeşim. Ne oluyor?
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
Ne oluyor ya? Hayda.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Çat çat bir de ses geliyor. Allah'ım çıldıracağım şimdi. Ya elinde küçücük çocuk daha dur ne yapıyorsunuz? Ama kafamız nasıl güzel. Mahmut abilerle lokaldeyiz. Biz nasıl iyileşeceğiz peki? Aa! Lan üstümüzde hiçbir şey yok. Neyse Bianca'nın yüzüğünü çıkarmışız. Aldatmak sayılmaz. Aa niye attım lan ben bunları? Zehirlenmiyorduk ki zaten. Ama buradan direkt ata taşıyabiliyor muyuz? Oha! Yok ben de bir an çaldılar zannettim de. Pardon çok özür dilerim.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Allah belalı. Oğlum bir daha çok kötü koktu ya. Gözlerim yaşardı Allah kahretsin.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards.
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the...
Oğlum biz o arada niye gittik oraya?
Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Kıllı kıçımı kaldırdım güzel olmadı ama.
Oh my guts. My poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something.
Sabah vaazı olabilir mi?
What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it?
Oğlum biz çok fena durumdayız ya.
Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
Excommunicado.
You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege,
You just came from studying in Prague, and you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters.
Sanki hak ediyorsun be abi.
Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless.
Ya siktir git artık.
How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Ama unutmayın, bilgiyi adamdan alacağız. Belki yardım eder bu bilgi. Buna yardım edersek o da bize bilgide yardım eder. Birinci seçenek. Günah çıkarmanın gizliliği artık kutsal değil mi? 2. Bu numarayı kimseye yediremeyiz. 3. Tamam ama sonuçları garanti edemem. 4. Üzgünüm ama yapamam. Bir dersek hani ben yaparım ama sen de bize işte günahda ne çıkardı sana onu söylersin falan gibisine böyle bir alttan işleme gibi geliyor bana. 3 de sorgusuz sualsiz kabul ediyoruz. Şimdi ona göre düşünün. Bir de karşılığında sorgu diyorum. Günah çıkarmadan ne konuşulduğunu öğrenmeyi teklif ediyoruz. 3 de tamam bro sen ne istersen yaparım ben. İçelim sıçalım gel bir de senin kıçını kurtaralım olur.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
Şimdi kararı tamamen size bırakıyorum. Ne derseniz onu yapacağım. İki tane 3 geldi. Yani Angelica ile Yolandi'nin gittiğine inanmak istemiyorum. Çünkü 3 diyelim diyor. Şu anda chatte bana cevap veren 3 kişi var. Twitch 2 kişi izliyor olarak gösteriyor. Çıldıracağım ya.
Well, all right. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out
Modlar sayılmıyor mu ya? İzlemiyor musunuz siz beni?
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Timur, Yolandi, sen, Kaan. Ben oraya böyle gitmem brother. Ağzımızı burnumuzu elimize verirler falan. Ben her türlü şeye hazırlıklı olacağım. Yok öyle. Yağma. Karnımız aç değil. Onlar gitti ya. Kafkas arada bir takılıyor gidiyor. Öyle geliyor iki muhabbet. Batu Flex'te itibar mı kaybedildi?
Never show up. The swill pup. Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
2 kere yaptı. 3.'ye yeltendi. Bir daha kusarsa ben de buraya çıkartacağım artık yeter.
In nomine Patris et Filii
et
Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
Amen.
Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
Daha içmesen mi acaba? Abla dur 2 dakika oynaşma orada.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Ben bir diyorum ya.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
Kilise maçta Tanrı vardır. Yanlış yolda düşmüş ayetleri geleceğimi.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone. It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, humans, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin themselves absolution.
For shame. Shame upon them.
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of
Oğlum adamı asacaklar.
Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the
tutturmaya çalışıyorum.
They keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath.
Ulan bilgiyi almak için var ya.
Salvation of souls, instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honor to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague.
Amen.
Amen.
Ulan anasını gibi ya. Ulan ne vaaz verdik be. Alkışlayın lan beni. Köpeğoğlu köpekler.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a silver tongue.
Dilim hoşuna mı gitti teyze?
Well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Senin yüzünden ben de kusacaktım neredeyse.
I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin,
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lebosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you,
well, now Lubos came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked.
Ya tamam
He said
öldü zaten.
they'd been hired through some crony of theirs.
Evet.
And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Güzel. Sonra?
Fell out. Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubos kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
so I know that Lubos killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive.
Nerede
I need
bulabileceğim?
names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pious. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest.
Lan daha okumayı yeni söktük bir dur. Aa.
Anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Bayağı bir şey öğrendik canım. İşe yaradı en azından. İyi, o kadar şeyi boşuna katlanmamış olmak bile benim için bir... Aa, oyun kaydedildi, çok güzel. Şu meşale elimden düştükçe ben çıldırıyorum ya. Ne görev neymiş? Kokunun peşinde. Neuhof çete üyelerinden biri Muhtemelen lakaplı herifim. Yakınında bir yerde olmalı. Ne yazık ki arabaların tek şey bu. Bu kokusunu bulmak çok zor olmamalı. Gerçi hoş bir karşılaşmada beklemiyorum.
Hear ye, good people. The kingdom of God is at hand, my children.
Ya yok, niye banlanalım? Deli misiniz oğlum? Pardon. Mükemmel olsun. Heh.
Is there something you need?
Ablacığım sen şey misin? Yürü be Yolandi. Ben gene bir bok yedim ya. Herifin kadının evine girdik. Çarmıha gelecekler gene bizi. Sevgili YouTube. Çok ani oldu değil mi? Ha, bizde öyle. Bir sonraki bölümde görüşürüz. Oyun. Ben hiçbir şey yapmadım. Oyun. Hiç dokunmadım. Bir sonraki bölüm görüşürüz. Bu bölüm biraz eğlenceli oldu. Ne yapalım? Siz de arada bir eğlenin. Görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın.